I guess this is what I'm gonna do today. Alright, so I'm gonna start with talking over a time-lapse of me constructing the entire breeder. So if you just want to see how to build it, then this should be enough, hopefully. But after this, I'm gonna go through how it works and roughly explain the mechanics and the technical sides of it, so you don't really have to watch another tutorial. Like, hopefully this is gonna be the last tutorial you ever need for a villager breeder, until they change the mechanics and this doesn't work anymore and I just look dumb. Alright, let's go over some of the technical bits of how villager breeding works. So the villagers need two things to be able to breed. One of them is access to beds, and the other one is access to crops. Now, if that is potatoes, if it's bread, if it's carrots, doesn't really matter. They just need a certain amount of each, whichever one it is. I think it's like 3 bread and then maybe a stack of potatoes and a stack of carrots. I actually don't know. But anyways, here I'm using potatoes because it's the easiest one to farm. Either that or carrots, doesn't really matter. Then you need a minimum of 2 villagers. And these villagers need a minimum of 4 beds. Now, if you have more than 4 beds, doesn't actually matter. I think a bed has 0.33 villagers capacity. So if you have 3 villagers, they need a minimum of 4 beds. Meaning that if you want 2 villagers to breed and make a new villager, you need a minimum of 4 beds. Now, sometimes this needs more beds, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why. Some of these don't want to work, some of they do. So, you know, if it's not working, just place more beds and it probably should start working. Now, of course, we don't want these villagers to actually get to the beds, because if they did, well, we'd give them sleep, and these are our slaves, so we wouldn't want that. And also, we don't want them escaping by accident. So what we do here is we have 2 trapdoors. Now these trapdoors, when they are placed, are in the closed position, so we open them. Now this basically tells the villager that, hey, you can walk here when you can't. So they think they can get to these beds. Same with this one as well. This one is closed from the beginning when it's like this. That's the normal position. This is the open one. They think they can get here, but they can't because they're pretty dumb. And these guys are big, which means they can't actually fit into this 1 block hole. But your babies can, and that's what's important, because the babies are even dumber. What a villager baby wants to do more than anything else in the world is jump on beds. They just want to go over here and have a good old time like they're in a hotel room. But they can't, because there's a hole. So they just fall down. They will try to get to the beds, but they can't. And then we just have a collection system where they get pushed. I have them down in a hole here for some reason. Hi there, guys. How are you doing? This little guy is going to come over eventually. Could you go? Alright, the reason why I have them so far away is because if these guys are connected to these beds, then all of a sudden we don't actually have enough beds, which is why I think that it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. But you know, that's an easy fix problem. Could you just... Thank you very much. But yeah, those are the basics of villager trading, or villager breeding. I have a composter here because one of these guys needs to be a farmer. Again, I don't understand this fully. For some reason, this hasn't worked for me. Most of the time, you will see people use something like this, right? Let's just break this and do that. Okay. So this is a manual breeder. What you do here is we just take a stack of potatoes, you throw it at them, they're gonna breed, and it's gonna fall down. The baby is gonna fall down eventually. Which is great. This works. This is all you need if you want to do it manually. But we don't want to do it manually. We want this to be automatic. And this is the way you do it automatically. Man, I'm eating frozen peas while editing this, and it slaps. Just like a small bowl, plastic bowl from IKEA, fill it up with frozen peas, and it's so good. Like, oh my god, it's the best snack I've ever had. Also, I am a very, very big noob when it comes to villagers and mechanics, so if you really want someone that knows what they're doing, go over to the Sidecraft guys, someone like Nembom or Ilmango. They understand this way better than I do. They have so many more brain cells than I have. So I would definitely recommend those guys.